Yes, welcome along to episode 2 in the new series of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch, counting down to the 2021 Cheltenham Festival. Gavin, I'm a bit deflated.
Dave.
I am. We started last week, so much enthusiasm, so much verve, and then Mr. Fisher just sucked the life out of me, Gavin. It wasn't a good start to Upping The Ante.
No.
How was your week? That's what viewers want to know.
Punting-wise, not too bad. Won a few quid. Bad day Saturday, good day Sunday.
Best result?
The Shunter.
The Shunter, owned by our good friend Paul Byrne, whose brainchild this show was.
Very good.
Yeah.
Worst result was San Ra.
Okay, we'll talk about Saint Mark later in the studio. Gavin needs about 20 minutes to cry his tears out onto the ground. Apart from that, good week?
But sure, the Masters was great. It's a pity there was no European up near the top of the leaderboard. Sunday was a bit boring, but it's still a great event.
Do you have a bet in the golf?
No.
No, okay. Stick to the horses.
Try to.
And you have a big announcement?
Yeah, so I mentioned to you last week, I'm organising a charity cycle next summer, May the 22nd. Are you going to take part?
I will, yeah.
Okay. It's for charity, and it's 7 race courses in 7 hours. But I'll give you all the details next week.
Okay.
Yep.
All details next week?
Yep.
Charity cycle?
Yep.
I'm doing it?
Yes.
Okay. I better get training. Let's kick on with the show. So we're going to kick off with our questions from the crowd. Yes, where you, the viewer, gets a chance to interact with myself and Gavin Lynch. Send in your questions, put them on YouTube, send them into Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you want. Send your question and we will endeavour to answer them all for you. The first question this week comes in from Ben Knight, Gavin, and he wants to know your thoughts on Champ in the Gold Cup.
Yeah, sure, Champ is Champ, isn't he?
What does that mean, Champ is Champ? Champ is Champ means he's the best horse ever because he's named Champ. So what does Champ is Champ mean?
He's quirky, but he didn't do a few people a few favours in the RSA.
Didn't do you a favour?
No,
cost you about 10 grand.
Look, he was unbeaten when he stood up last season. He fell in the dipper at the second last. It's just his jumping, isn't it? He stays. He's got the class.
Had a wind operation.
Okay.
And Nicky thinks that's maybe why he got outpaced coming down the hill.
Okay.
In the RSA. If that brings him on another little bit now, I'm a fan.
Are you?
I'm a fan,
Would
yeah.
you give him a chance?
I give him a chance, yeah. Tom Segal in the Racing Post last week said he's the horse to beat in the Gold Cup.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad about him just because of his jumping, but if he jumps well in the race, you could see a fella having a saver if he jumped well, but I just...
You learned your lesson from last year, Gavin?
Yeah. I wouldn't be a huge fan of the Gold Cup just because of jumping, but if his jumping is good, he has a chance.
Okay, he beat Manila Endo in last year's RSA. They're both the same price this year. Would you rather back Manila Indo at 10 to 1 Bet365 or would you rather back Champ at 10 to 1 Bet365?
I'd sooner back Manila Indo just because mostly jumping.
Yeah, I think I would too.
You go for Manila Indo?
Yeah, I think I would, yeah.
But look, the Gold Cup, it's become a habit now. It's an open race every year now.
So there you go, Ben. We're a bit lukewarm on Champ. Our next question this week comes in from Paul McIntosh, and this is a belter. This is probably the best question we're going to get for the whole series. He wants to know about you during a race, Gavin. He wants to know, do you get nervous? Do you celebrate? Where do you watch the race? Talk me through Gavin Lynch during a race. Okay, Saint-Ouen, Sunday, Morgiana. Talk me through the process.
I watched, I'd say 99% of race at home. I just have to make sure I don't be driving when I'm watching a race. No. So I was watching it at home. Generally, I would just be watching on my own and I'd have the volume turned way down because I just don't want to get too excited during a race. If you want to keep doing this till you're 80 years old. Celebrate, not really.
Gavin, come on. Would you get up out of the chair or...
No.
Like I'd have a bit of a habit of doing that, you know?
No, Anne-Marie wouldn't know if I had a good day or a bad day. Usually.
Wouldn't know, just your demeanour says the same.
Yeah, I like it going away for Cheltenham with a few pals to Tenerife or somewhere. I remember a few years ago, the horse were down at the start in the Supreme, and I said to one of the boys, he gets quite excited. I said, now just to tell you that if you shout at the telly, it makes somewhere between 0 and 5% of a difference to your horse's chances. So
you don't even shout.
We do. If we back the same horse, that's good fun.
Sounds like going to a bloody funeral. So have you any superstitions? Do you touch your hair? Do you,
No.
Keep your hands together?
No.
Nothing? Cross your legs?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Jeez, I'm glad I don't watch racing with you. There you go, Paul. That was a bit disappointing. Now on to Emma Murphy's question, and Emma wants to know, Gavin, if me and you could own any horse in training, apart from Envoy Allen, obviously, because we both pick Envoy Allen, what horse would you like to own?
I would say Shishkin.
Well pronounced.
Yeah. He's a 6-year-old. I think if they all went to the sales, he'd make the second highest, maybe, would he?
After Envoy Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
How much would Envoy Allen make?
Oh, Lord.
2 million.
Oh, he'd make 2 million, yeah. JP, you buy him, no bother.
Shishkin, I probably won't tip him up for the Arkle just because it's a price thing, but he did very, very well to win the Supreme. He's unbeaten over hurdles except for the day he fell. So he could be a very, very special horse. He could be another sprinter sacker possibly for Nicky. So I'd say Shishkin.
I'm going to go for one from the same stable.
Okay.
Right. And because this sums up her personality, right? Gavin goes for kind of the obvious one. That's why you're so successful. You stick to the obvious. That's what you do. You play it safe, right? I'm going to go for Mr. Coffee, right? Mr. Coffee won a handicap at Sandown off of market, the 120s. Okay, he's a long way to go before he gets to Shishkin. But I think Mr. Coffee is your 2022 Arkle winner. He's a gorgeous big horse, big long neck in him. He reminds me, looking at him, of Altior. And I'm just hoping with a little bit of progress, with a little bit of a softly approach, Mr. Coffee, this time next year, we'll be saying he's favourite for the Arkle.
That's definitely one out of left field.
That's a big claim, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Mr. Coffee, your 2022 Arkle winner. Now, our final question this week comes in from Mark Kilbride, and Mark wants to know who would win the Sheveley Park Hurdle, an embarrassment of riches in the red and white of Sheveley Park. And he wants to know who's going to win, Gavin, between Envoy Allen, Ballyadam, Fernie Hollow, Quixilios, Malone Road and Sir Gerard. What an outstanding crop of horse. And they're all young and exciting.
Yeah, it's fantastic for Cheveley Park. They've only just come into the National Hunt game and here they are with all these stars. So
okay, who wins? I think this is obvious. In fairness, Mark, who wins? Envoy Allen wins. Okay, we know that. But we want our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so who comes last?
I would say Malone Road.
I'll agree, Malone Road.
He was disappointing in the stall.
Yeah.
Fifth, we'll go for Quilixios simply because he's 3, but he's going to be a lovely horse. But right now, a 3-year-old wouldn't beat the older horse.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think he's going to make a gorgeous chaser. Could be, an RSA Gold Cup type in years to come, but he'd be my 5th as well. Fourth,
I'd go for Sir Gerhard simply because we don't know if he can jump hurdles yet.
Yeah.
But a gorgeous horse.
I'd agree with that. Third?
Very hard to choose between Fernie Hollow and Ballyadam. I'd say 3rd Ballyadam, 2nd Fernie Hollow.
Okay, I'll switch them around. I go 2nd Ballyadam, 3rd Fernie Hollow.
Just the Cheltenham bumper performance worked out exceptionally well.
Yeah, okay. So there you go.
Number 1, the Main Man.
The Main Man. Best horse in training?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Best horse you've ever seen?
We'll see.
What? Really?
I don't know yet. He's not up to Cato Star yet, but...
Little did I think I'd ever see Gavin Lynch getting carried away with a horse. Gavin, hold your horses. That was questions from the crowd. Now, viewers, it is the week that was time. It's Gavin Lynch's chance to tell you what caught his eye over the last 7 days. Take it away, Gavin.
So we'll try and bring people up to date, all the horses that ran that are...
Well, that's the gist of it, yeah. Yeah, people know that by now. Come on.
Starting at Fairy House on Tuesday, Hunter's Chase.
This horse has broken you. Bill away.
So stand up and fight, Bill away, and it came to pass. I'd say all 3 trainers would be delighted afterwards.
You back Bill away?
I did.
Well, you told me on the show last week you did. Okay. What are you thinking coming to the last?
It looks all over, makes a mistake. And actually out in the country, it was off the bridle and looked in trouble. And then it came to pass, hay to the ground, so I'd say they were delighted. And obviously Stand Up and Fight came to the party for the first time in a long time.
I actually tipped him to win the Fox Hunters on this show last year. Stand Up and Fight. Never got there.
But there's actually nobody betting on the Fox Hunters yet that I can see. But I'd imagine Bill Away would be something like 7 or 8 to 1 favourite.
That means you went looking.
I did.
Okay, for Bill Away?
I'd give it came to pass a good chance. Like, it loves good ground, so or better ground.
Okay.
Next to Exeter on Wednesday, Fiddler on the Roof, Sporting John were the two clashing against each other. Sporting John ran bad, and Fiddler on the Roof just got up to beat Silver Hallmark.
Very good jumper.
Yeah, just
not good enough probably to win a Cheltenham.
I don't think so. It's 14, 16 to 1. It should be bigger than that, really.
Okay.
On to Clonmel on Thursday. Shattered Love won the Mayor's Chase by 10 lengths. Loves the heavy ground. She is 14 to 1 for the Mayor's Chase. Don't forget, she was 6th in the Ryanair. She won the JLT as it was before, the year before that. One stat against it is that no 10-year-old mare has won the Mayor's Chase yet at Cheltenham.
Okay, yeah, that's a good stat, Gavin. Yeah, I'll give you another stat as well. I was
just seeing you listening.
Yeah, that was very good. I'll give you another stat as well. She won't be winning because she's not good enough. Go on.
Okay. The ground come up very soft. She'd have a chance.
Yeah, no, she's gorgeous. In fairness, I love to own her, but I just think the likelihood is going to be quickish.
I was just seeing you listening there.
I was listening, yeah.
On to Cheltenham. The first day was Friday. Protectorate was impressive. It jumped exceptionally well. Won by 17 lengths. It's 2 from 2 over fences. It'll probably
terrible race, very impressive.
Yeah, it'll probably end up in the Marsh. It's 16 to 1 for the Marsh. Okay. Easy's Land and Tiger Road both ran in the cross country. I backed Tiger Road 2 places. I think it was like 5 to 4. I thought it was a great bet. And obviously, as we know, it pulled up. Eddie O'Leary.
Bet, yeah.
No. Not so good since. Eddie O'Leary has said that it's going to come back in the spring, and we'll see, but obviously it was very disappointing.
Yeah, did the story myself, yeah. I actually rang him, and I kind of had prepared myself. I was thinking, right, God, might be writing a little tribute, might have to do a colour piece. The likelihood is that Tiger Roll is going to be retired, because they're quite spontaneous, the O'Learys. And rang him, and I said, well, what's the chances of Tiger Roll retiring, Eddie? And he said, what? What are you on about? This is a spring horse. Forget what he does in the autumn and winter. He's a spring horse. And I actually delved into the stats. And his form at the Cheltenham Festival compared to his form at Cheltenham away from the festival is poles apart. But you'd have to be worried.
But in terms of punting, I mean, you couldn't have him on your mind. Easy's Land finished fourth, given a stone and 8 to the few in front of it. To me, it didn't jump very well, but it's been pushed out to 5-2 for the cross country, which I think is a great price.
Okay.
I think it'll win, even with Jonathan Plouganou riding it. Does He Know was reasonably impressive.
I like that performance now.
Has now won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
It's a 16-1 for Ballymore.
Yeah, I like that horse.
Yeah, Kim Bailey. It's going to be a gorgeous chaser, isn't it?
I could see him maybe even developing into an Albert Bartlett type.
Good. Cheltenham on Saturday, Dufflecoat. Traded 14 in the run at halfway. Looked to be in massive trouble, but stayed on and stayed on and stayed on.
Second horse, the best horse in that race.
You reckon?
Pipes, yeah, definitely.
4 out of 4 for Dufflecoat is 12-1 joint favourite to Triumph. I wouldn't really see
Who's the best of Gordon's juveniles, do you think?
You'd say Quilixios at the minute, but it hasn't been fully tested yet. So
I think Zana here is. Yep.
But the Triumph hurdle, there's no panic. Like yesterday, there was 3 horses bought in Arcana for 185 grand, 200 grand, 200 grand. One is JP, one is going to Paul Nichols, one is going to Willie Mullins. They could all show up in the Triumph.
Yeah.
So backing in the Triumph hurdle before January is probably a bit silly.
Bonkers.
Your horse that you tipped up last week, Eldorado.
Yeah.
Alan, well done.
Yeah. I was going into Mr. Fisher, like, I couldn't have been more confident. Eldorado. Now, would he have won?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would have said Gumball. I'd like to see what the bet was at the time, but I'm sure Gumball was favourite.
The only thing I will say was Eldorado Allen absolutely pinged the last. Pinged it. So the chances were he might have made up a little bit of ground at the last with that jump. I don't know. I think it would have been very close.
They're both 16-1 for the Arkle. Eldorado Allen and Gumball. On to Punchtown on Saturday. A few horses here to talk about jumping left and right. First of all, Asterion Forlange jumped dead straight for the first 10, 11, 12 fences, but the last 3, he jumped a bit to the right, particularly at the last 2. And because he did that in the Supreme so badly, it's very hard to see him win at Cheltenham, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm very
stepping up and trip. I think even the further he goes, where he's going to be.
He's a gorgeous horse and he's a great engine, but just this jumping right-handed thing is obviously a negative. I see that he's not in the Drinmore, which is a bit of a surprise. But there's a lovely programme from him if he wants to go to Limerick, then on to Fairyhouse for what is now the Ryanair Novice Chase, used to be the Powers Gold Cup, and maybe on to Punchtown. But Cheltenham, he's 20-1 for the Marsh and the RSA. Okay.
I did Willie Stabletour, and he thinks the further he goes, the less he's going to jump to his right. I don't know.
You'd have to see him going left-handed before you back him for Cheltenham.
Yep.
The horse that was second, Conflated, he jumped badly out to his left, so he'll be better going the other way around. Keep an eye on him when he goes left-handed. Felix Deji also jumped to his left.
Can I just say, that was a fantastic ride.
Yeah.
Jack Kennedy had a terrific weekend, didn't panic, we'll come to the Morgiana later on, didn't panic, let the sizing horse, was it a sizing horse? Yeah.
Yeah, Sizing Potsy.
Let Sizing Potsy go. Maybe he couldn't go with him, but still, he wasn't going away at the line. I thought it was a clever ride from a young buck who was only back from injury.
He's 14-1 for the Arkle, but he'll be a lot better going left-handed.
Yeah.
And maybe a bit better ground might suit him too. Darver Star was very disappointing.
Yeah. We didn't really like him, either of us, last week.
Yeah, he's 8, turn 9, needs better ground. Just to mention Salsaretta, who's joint favourite for the Mayor's Chase that we mentioned earlier, she fell at the first, so just for people to be aware of that. It wouldn't exactly be positive. Here's a horse for you to keep an eye on, Dave. Remember this name. This is going to be a star, I'd say. Holy Macapony.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him win the maiden hurdle?
I did.
I think he's very, very good. He'd probably go the same way as Manila Indo, probably end up in a Bartlett.
You would have thought, turning in, that the Willie horse was definitely going to win.
This lad stayed.
Yeah,
he's 20-1 for the Albert Bartlett, but I'd give him a good chance in that.
Okay.
And then in the bumper, let's be clear about it, Gavin Cromwell was very, very impressive.
Whoa, that was very good, yeah.
He couldn't have done it any easier. And the thing that was very impressive, that the horse was so mature, wasn't free. He looked like he'd ran 20 times.
Yeah.
So he's a good horse. On to Cheltenham on Sunday, the big breakaway.
You're leaving the Morgan at the last there?
The big breakaway was 4-9, won by 10 lengths. He's now 8-1 for the RSA. The great thing about him is that he's only 5. I harp on about ages, but like that's some achievement to be joint favourite, we'll say, for an RSA, and he's only 5, turning 6.
Yeah. Now, I thought of Cheltenham last year when he ran in the Ballymore. He was beaten after a hurdle. Colin Tizard's horses weren't right. Puppy was niggling along from a very early stage. And when you reflect on it, he actually didn't run that badly for a horse that was obviously not right. That was too immature for a race like that. I think he's a very good horse.
Yeah, he finished fourth in the Ballymore, so but plenty more experience to come. But yeah, he'd probably go to the Cato Star, would he, at Christmas?
Yeah, he could, yeah.
Then we're on to Put the Kettle On. Defi Desai was horrendously disappointing.
Yeah, there's...
Puissance the first.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a very good week for Philip Hobbs.
Barry just got on with that horse, didn't he?
Yeah. So hard to see Defi Desai win the Champion Chase. Put the Kettle On, looked in big trouble at the top of the hill. It's jumping. I just don't know if it's jumping as quick enough for a Champion Chase. Her attitude's brilliant. She's 3 from 3 at Cheltenham. She won the Arkle. She would definitely have a good chance in the Champion Chase. But would you run her in the Mayor's Chase or would you run her in the Champion Chase?
Look, they'll run the Champion Chase. You know, Arkle winners have a terrific record the following season in the Champion Chase. Even horses that you never thought would do the double have done it. And I don't know, like Put the Kettle On, Shaq and Persois, 9-2, 8-1. Just say,
yeah. I'd go Shaq and Persois.
I'd go Shaq and Persois too, and I wouldn't need too much persuading either. Also to mention the Great Wood Hurdle, last year we got the winner of the Coral Cup, Damned Company, that finished third or fourth in the Great Wood. The Shunter won the Great Wood by 3 lengths off 1-8. When it steps up and trip for the Coral Cup or the Martin Pipe, it has to have a good chance, even if it gets 10 or 12 pounds. This horse has come from nowhere, bought out of John Clifford's yard, very shrewd buy, and he's improving all the time, and he has a chase rating. He stays, he can go 2 miles, he can possibly go 3 miles. He's going to be a great fun horse. Yeah,
but he's not really a chaser. His jumping is just not good enough. But I could see him staying over hurdles, certainly this season. And he'd have to have a chance in one of those handicaps. Punchtown on Sunday, Pencil Full of Lead, beat Latest Exhibition. Won by 7 lengths. Really, really, really good jumper.
Yeah. Quick. Yeah. Quick, lands running.
Just... Brian Cooper was having to ask Latest Exhibition for big jumps, whereas Pencil Full of Lead was just popping away. And this thing of going for big jumps, surely that must take more energy than a horse just popping away.
Sure, Defi Desai was flung at every fence,
Yeah.
Go on,
Fury Road won by 3.5 lengths.
Like a big chance in the stairs. Big chance. Big chance.
Lovely horse. I'm surprised he's not gone chasing.
Yeah.
And then we're on to the Morgiana Hurdle.
No, do you know what, Gavin? Right? Because I can see steam coming from your ears. It's hitting me here, so it is. Because you want to get stuck into Morgiana, we've decided we're going to have a Champion Hurdle preview in the next segment of the show. So stay tuned where Gavin is going to let loose about the Morgiana. I'm just like, the traps are about to open. The hair is coming and he's going to be let out soon, okay? So just stay tuned. He's going to talk about the Morgiana, and I don't think you will see Gavin Lynch more livid in your life. What's left?
Two horses to mention. Fighter Allen, who's Envoy Allen's half-brother, one for Willie Mullins in the maiden hurdle.
First horse for Chris Jones, could be.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hollow Games was quite impressive in the bumper.
Impressive.
16-1 for the bumper. Yeah. And there was 8 races in Punchestown on Sunday. 2 for Tom Mullins, 2 for Willie Mullins, and 4 for Gordon Elliott. Easy peasy.
Mullins or Elliott.
That's the week that was.
That was the week that was. So every week here on Upping The Ante, we preview one of the big races at the Cheltenham Festival. And this week, it is the turn of the Champion Hurdle. Perfect timing, because we've just had the Morgiana. And we're going to have a look at Bet365's current prices. The defending champion, Epatante, is their 3-1 favourite. Then you've got 3 horses at 8-1. We've got Goshen, we've got Abracadabras, and we've got Santois, and it's 12-1 bar, which brings in the likes of Shishkin, who is going chasing. Gavin.
Yes.
I suppose we better talk about the Morgiana.
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. So your reputation's on the line. You've tipped up. Your first tip is Santois for the Champion Hurdle. You spoke about him to me all week. You couldn't wait to back him for the Morgiana. Just talk me through the process. Are you at home?
Yes.
Okay. You've had a decent cut at the horse.
Yep.
What price? Evens?
Evens, yeah.
Evens, okay. Okay. Talk me through your emotions during the race.
Wasn't happy from an early stage with how keen the horse was.
Very keen.
And to me, that's a worry. He didn't really show it. And I looked at yesterday, just for this, I looked at his runs in Tramore, in the County Hurdle, and also in Tipperary. And on Sunday was easily the most keen he's been. And
so he's getting keener?
He seems to be, yeah.
Okay.
What didn't suit Mark Walsh at all is that after half a mile, they've got the big downhill run.
Yeah.
And that really set him alight.
Yeah, there's a downhill run in Cheltenham too.
Yeah, there is. But last year in the County Hurdle, he settled far better. He jumped very well. So they're going a bit slow.
Okay.
He's very keen.
So
he's not jumping
when do you
so
think
good.
You're in trouble? After 2 hurdles, 3 hurdles?
I just was kind of going,
because you weren't contemplating defeat at all now before the race.
No. But I hate horses being keen.
Okay.
Hate it, because it has to waste 10-20% of your energy. It has to.
Okay.
And then he went up the inside, coming to say to 3 out, 2 out, and then he
what
had
are you
to come
thinking?
down them and going, oh God. Look, at Mark Walsh gave it a desperate ride, right? But you can get over that. But I just would love to see Sanois Christmas settle a lot better. Now, hopefully the ground will be better. They'll go quicker. I think his jumping will improve when they go quicker.
Okay. A couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Number one, was he the best horse in the race?
Yeah.
Does he have a better chance than Abracadabras of winning the Champion Hurdle?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, why are you so negative on Abracadabras? Can I say something to you now, okay? All the talk afterwards was about Abracadabras, right? Everybody was saying Abracadabra, or it was about Santois, sorry, getting them mixed up. It was about Santois saying, oh my God, Mark Walsh, how far should that horse go? But can I say to you, okay, coming down to the third, second last, okay, I think Jack Kennedy sensed what was going to happen. It wasn't a frantic early pace.
Very nice of Keith Donoghue to let him out.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Stay with Panya.
Of all the horses that didn't want to be in front, turning for home and coming down to last, Abracadabras was the last horse you wanted to see in front early in the home straight. Jack Kennedy said to himself, right, I have two choices here, okay? I can sit, suffer, and hope for the best, or I could do something that's completely against this horse, but will give me the best chance of winning, okay? And I think what he said to himself was, I'm going to play the percentage, I'm going to get out, I'm going to get a clear run, and fingers crossed we'll hold on. And that's what he did. So I would say, while everything absolutely went wrong for Santois, I think almost everything went wrong for Abracadabras, who didn't jump particularly well either, who had plenty of light, they didn't go fast. I think in a Champion Hurdle, when he gets cover, we've seen in the Supreme last year, he was lightning over his hurdles, he settled, he almost won the race. I just think everything went wrong for Abracadabras in the Morgiana, whereas in the Champion Hurdle, it will be... I'm not saying he's definitely a better horse than Santois. Santois, judging by Sunday, could be, but I just think Abracadabras was unfairly treated after the race.
Yeah, there's a bit of that maybe. The one thing, well done. The one thing I'd say about Abracadabras is that he's a length and a half clear after the last. The last half of furlong and punched him is down the hill.
Yeah, it's like that.
And he still couldn't keep the length and a half. Like he's nearly, if they've got another 50 yards, he's finished third. I just can't see him coming up the hill.
Are you a believer in idling?
Not particularly.
Is it tiredness?
Like Abracadabras, he threw away the Supreme. He went out through a rail when he ran the bumper one day.
Lord, that's harsh. Threw away the Supreme. He was beaten by a very good horse, and
he
were
was
miles clear to third.
But
two strikes before the line, he was nearly in front.
Yeah, I just can't see him coming up the hill in the Champion Hurdle. You can't win a Champion Hurdle on the bridle. Archibald tried, it's the closest you can get.
Okay.
He's a similar vein of horse. But just to say this to you, that form on Sunday is not near good enough for any of them to win a Champion Hurdle. Like they ran to maybe 160. Okay?
So Gavin, tell me this, on a scale of 1 to 10, in the deflation stakes, where are you with your Champion Hurdle tip for Santois?
I think he has roughly as good a chance he had before Sunday, because you have to remember that he only ran the maiden hurdle more, a handicap. He ran to a grade 3 in Tipperary and now a grade 1. So it was his first grade 1. Things went wrong with the cane, the ground, the jumping, got into bother. I wouldn't give up on him. I think 7 or 8 to 1 is about the right price. He's roughly stayed the same price since Sunday. Epatante, we're talking about the Champion Hurdle. She's got a massive chance. She was very impressive last year. It wasn't the greatest Champion Hurdle, Sharjah on soft ground and Darver Star, but her getting the £7, this £7 thing is a huge asset for her. So the others have to come up. I think Sanra is the best.
You're asking the questions, and I'm supposed to ask the questions. You're asking the questions, Alison. Go on.
I think Sanra is probably the best on this side of the IRC, but he'll have to improve to beat her.
Okay, so you're not too deflated. You're not as deflated as I was seeing Nico de Boinville pull up Mr. Fisher. Put it that way. Okay, Epatante, you touched on her there. She's just very good.
Very good.
She's getting £7. She's 3 to 1 favourite. Does she deserve to be favourite?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She was very, very impressive at Christmas, and she was impressive at Cheltenham. She looked the winner the whole way around, and she had a great turn of foot. Okay,
this weekend we're going to see Goshen beaten twice on the flat.
It's running over 2, 3.5. That wouldn't shout Champion Hurdle to you either, so we'll see.
Annie Power did it though, I think.
Yeah.
So you're not a Goshen fan?
Not particularly. I wouldn't be totally in love with the jockeys, but that's
okay. So Epatante is the right favourite. You're not giving up on Santois. Is there anything at big prices that you think have a chance?
I've 2 50 to 1 shots to mention.
Mr. Coffey?
He wouldn't win a county hurdle, but stop. The two are 2 mares who also then will obviously get the £7 allowance.
Two mares,
yeah. One is a 4-year-old Burning Victory who won the Triumph Hurdle. She jumped terrible in Fairy House. She jumped very, very badly in the Triumph. I'm just saying if her jumping improves, she'll have a chance. And the other horse to mention is Marie's Rock.
Okay.
Nikki Henderson, she's 3 from 3 over 3 out of 3 in her record.
I can see
2
that
out of
now.
2 over hurdles. She was favourite for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle last year. She looked very, very impressive when she won. Now, did she beat much? I don't know.
Very impressive after the last,
But she just, because she's unexposed, she's bolted up every time. We don't know how good she could be. I think her at 50 to 1, Marie's Rock is too big.
Okay. I definitely prefer Marie's Rock to Burning Victory. But yeah, two decent shouts at big prices.
Getting the £7 as well.
Okay. No Mr. Coffee?
Definitely not.
Okay, so the most likely winner of the Champion Hurdle is?
Epatons and second choice Sanwa. What would you?
Okay, I'll go Epatons, second choice Abacadabras.
Okay.
There you go. That was our Champion Hurdle preview. Now, viewers, have we got a treat in store for you? Just because you have watched me and Gavin spouting on, we have got an offer for you that you can't refuse to turn down, okay? The Members Club Ultimate on the Racing Post is what you need to be a successful punter. It's got video replays from Ireland and England. It's got tracker services. It's got news interviews. It's got stable tours. Everything you want. Our premium package at the Racing Post could be yours. The first 3 months half price. All you need to do is put in the code UP50 and you get the first 3 months half price. Gavin, why would you not subscribe?
Actually, you'd have to. And the good thing is that'll take you very close to Cheltenham, won't it?
December,
January,
February. First 3 months half price. Cost you nothing.
Yeah, but she'll make more money at Cheltenham, so it'll...
Exactly. What you put into it, you're going to get back out of it in spades. Yeah, you use it.
Yeah.
I use it.
Yeah.
Everybody else uses it. UP50. You've got to do it. So what you want to know now is what's happening this week. And as all these weekends come and go, there is brilliant racing on both sides of the Irish Sea. The feature race, of course, is at Haydock on Saturday. And it is the Betfair Chase. And Bet365 prices at the moment sees the defending champion, Lost in Translation, is your 5-4 favourite. It's 7-4, the two-time winner, Bristol the Haydock, or Bristol the Mai, if you'd like to call them. It is 11-4, Clan de Zobo, and those are the big three in the race. How do you see the Betfair Chase going, Gavin?
It depends mostly, I'd say, on ground. If the ground is quite good, I think at the moment it's good to soft, good to soften places. If it stays like that, maybe Lost in Translation. If it gets worse than that, that would bring Bristol de Mai into it.
Where are we on Lost in Translation? Just beaten in the Gold Cup last year. Looked like winning at the last. Is he a genuine Gold Cup contender? He
has to be, simply because Colin Tizard's horses ran poorly at Cheltenham and he was easily the best of them, so he could be an exceptional horse. Clan de Zobo is 11-4. You'd imagine it's a prep run for the King George, but Paul Nicholls said that the horse is very fit and has a great chance. But
yeah, I know some Egypt that fancied him to win the Gold Cup last year.
Really?
Yeah,
going left-handed.
Imagine a fella fancied him to win at Cheltenham, Clan de Zobo, telling everybody to back him. What an idiot.
But Clan de Zobo is not as good going left-handed. The only thing, it's a flat track, so that'll suit it better, but I'd sooner watch it. If I was having a bet, maybe Lost in Translation, but the better the ground, the better his chance. Okay,
and Bristol de Mai, obviously if it rains, if it turns soft to heavy, would you flip?
I'd have no bet, but he'd probably win it.
Okay, so just about Lost in Translation?
Just about, yeah. Great race to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Even though there's only 5 in it.
I think I'm just about a Lost in Translation fan as well. And over at Ascot, we're going to see Goshen, or Goshen.
Goshen, yeah.
Are you Goshen or Goshen?
Sure, Goshen. Against Lorena and Call Me Lord.
Yes.
A race I love to watch. Personally, Goshen is better going right-handed because his wins before Cheltenham last year were right-handed and he jumped a bit to his right. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to watch.
And Lorena obviously burst blood vessels on a couple of starts last season. Now with Paul Nicholls.
Yeah.
Like, the run of Duke to Geneva would give you a bit of positivity for Lorena.
Yeah, I wouldn't just like to back a horse after bursting, to be honest.
Okay.
I'd sooner watch her. But if she won, it'd be great.
Call Me Lord was a shade disappointing on his return to action.
Yeah, so good race. Again, can't really see a bet, could you?
Not really, no. I just want to watch Goshen just to see that like spark, that like if he had won the Triumph, right? Just say if he'd have won the Triumph if he didn't fall, okay?
By 10 lengths,
and if we hadn't seen him since, just say he didn't run the flat, he'd be joint favourite with Epsom probably for the Champion Hurdle.
Yeah, it'd be definitely 4 or 5 to 1.
Because he would have won all his races spectacularly, like.
Yeah, he's 7-4, I think, for Saturday at the moment, which that sounds fair.
Yeah. Will be very interesting.
Can I mention a maiden hurdle on Friday?
You can. We've got racing in Ireland. Obviously, there's Navan on Sunday. What would you like to mention?
Well, there's a couple of Grade 2s in Naas on Saturday, and then there's a couple of good races in Navan on Sunday. Manila Indo might go there. But there's a maiden hurdle on Friday in Gorham Park, and you've got Appreciated or Fernie Hollow. One of those might run, but also Bob Ollinger is entered.
You love this Bob Ollinger.
Yeah, he's a good horse. So,
I haven't had a conversation with you in ages without you mentioning Bob Ollinger.
but it could be a very good maiden hurdle one to watch out for.
Okay.
That's it.
Anything else from Navan? No?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Monksfield Novice Hurdle could be a good race.
Yeah, could be a good race. 2 mile 4 Navan Sunday. But that's what's happening this week. So folks, the time has come for our latest Ante-Post selections. And after last week's performance by Mr. Fisher, I think I'll let Gavin go first. But what I need to explain is, okay?
Yep.
Me and Gavin, we do chat a lot. We're friends. I'd like to think he was my friend, Gavin, okay?
Yeah,
so we rang yesterday and I said, I was doing a bit of digging for the show and I came up with a tip, and Gavin said he'd been doing the same up for the last 24 hours looking through Cheltenham markets. And I said, where's your tip, Gavin? And he said the Sayers Hurdle. I said, oh, -2. What price is yours, Gavin? It's 10-1. -2, Gavin. What's the name of your horse, Gavin? Sire de Burleigh. Mine too. So we're both putting up Sire de Burleigh at 10-1 with Bet365 for the Stayers Hurdle. Gavin, you're the one that can convince viewers to back Sire de Burleigh, because that's what you do. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's got a great chance. Obviously, he was he third in the Martin Pipe, say 3 years ago. He's won the Pertemps the last 2 years. The little worry is that he's 8 turn 9, but 3 out of the last 13 winners are 9-year-olds, so we'll get past that. But to beat the Storyteller last year in the Pertemps was an exceptional performance.
And a ridiculously well handicapped Storyteller. Yeah. Let's be honest about it. Storyteller is now a Grade 1 winning chaser who ran his race in the Pertemps, and Sire de Burleigh still beat him. Ruby Walsh spoke about it in his analysis afterwards. During the race, they would poke your eye out. Sire de Burleigh, Storyteller. The whole way during the race, one was tracking the other, and Sire de Burleigh was good enough to beat Storyteller. A hell of a performance. Yeah,
the Storyteller ran off 149. He's 162 chaser now. Sire de Burleigh was given at £3. During the race, Sire de Burleigh's jumping was only okay. Made a couple of mistakes, as he did the previous year, because I watched it yesterday. What will really suit him is that there's only going to be, say, somewhere between 10 and 15 usually in the Stayers Hurdle. That'll really suit him.
2 hurdles in the last mile.
Yeah, so the new track, only 2 hurdles to jump. What's really interesting with Sire de Burleigh, when you look at last year's Pertemps, is that before they came to the last, here he is switched right back onto the bridle. Yeah. And the Storyteller is travelling well. I'd say the 2 jockeys were telling each other they were going to win. They sprinted clear, 6.5 lengths clear of the rest. He won recently in Navan over 2.5.
Yeah, that was a big thing. He needed to win.
I was praying he'd get beat.
No.
I was, yeah.
But you want to run him in the Pertemps again?
No. He's gone too high for that. His official rate now is 158.
Yeah, why?
But I just thought I'd get a better price. I thought we'd get a good price for the Stayers if he got beat. Yeah. But for him to go and win in Navan, now he took all day to get there, but it was only 2.5
2.5 miles Navan, yeah. First round of the season. It's everything Sire de Burleigh doesn't want. But this is a hardy so-and-so. Yeah. He's the one, when you're tough, you're jumped on by a gang at 3 o'clock after a nightclub, which I can't remember the last time we were in a nightclub, Gavin. But he's the one, if a gang jumps on you and you say, I need help, you go call in Sire de Burleigh, because he's the one that's going to get you up off the ground.
Yeah, while Abracadabras has gone running home.
Abracadabras, yeah, is in bed, tucked up by his mammy at 9 o'clock.
And the last thing to say about it is that the Pertemps last year, it was ran at the same track as the Stayers.
Oh, okay? I love this. Is this a time analysis, yes. Gavin?
So, Lisnagar Oscar carried 11 stone 10. Sire de Burleigh carried £2 more, 11 stone 12. The time of the Stayers was 6:03, and the time of the Pertemps was 6 minutes, so 3 seconds quicker.
And do you know why that is really interesting? Because Apple's shade went off like the clappers. So I would have presumed the Stayers would have been a much quicker time. No.
Yeah, so I just think Sire de Burleigh has a massive chance. Paisley Park, obviously, but I mean, he just was so disappointing at Cheltenham. It's hard to have him. He'd have to come right back to his best.
Yeah,
and I think 10-1 is good value.
10-1 is great value. It's a standout with Bet365. Yeah, 10-1 Sire de Burleigh.
Nobody else is 10-1.
Gavin Lynch is going to get stuck into that after the show. And one thing just to finally say about Sire de Burleigh, I love the Abracadabras, I love the Archibalds, I love the Sprinter Sacras, the real sexy bridle horses. But in a Stayers Hurdle, you don't want any sort of sexiness.
No.
You don't want anything.
No.
You want the most minging, horrible...
Hilda Ogden.
Yeah. You just want something that's going to get out of trouble. And I think on that long run from the second last to last, you saw Paisley Park must have traded... Well, he actually didn't trade a big price and won when he won the Stayers Hurdle. But that long run, when it just gets real serious, I think Sire de Burleigh is going to be the one.
He loves a battle.
Yeah, he loves a battle. 10-1, Sire de Burleigh, Stayers Hurdle with Bet365 is mine and Gavin's first selection this week, and because we like to differ, we're going to have one more each as well, so you can go for it.
The other one is Galvin for the National Hunt Chase. I was disappointed for Upping The Ante that he ran a few weeks ago and won easy at Cheltenham, because I was going to tip him up, because Gordon Elliott has said for a fair while he's going for the national hunch.
Okay, so viewers are watching this now, okay? And they're saying we're in the third week of November and you're tipping a 6-1 favourite for the national hunt chase with Bet365. Why should viewers back this horse now?
Because he's going for the race, which is crucial. You can't tell me any other horse that's going for that race at the moment. His rating is high enough. He's got an official rating of 151. He actually has a Racing Post rating of 159. Jamie Codd is likely to ride him. His jumping is really, really good. When he started out over fences, his jumping wasn't amazing, but it's got very, very good. He's had 8 runs over fences. He was second at the festival last year in the novice handicap. He's maybe not a grade 1 horse, but he's good enough to win the national hunt chase. Like last year's winner, Ravenhill, went into this with a rating of 142. He now has a rating of 152. So this guy is as good as him already. When Gordon said he's going for a race, he usually does.
Yeah. An economical jumper. Not exuberant, but just quick.
Yeah, just let him pop away, and that'll suit Jamie. He'll be out the back, and I think he'll stay the 3 mile 6. It's a bit of a guess whether he's definitely going to stay, but it's the same for every novice. They don't get to run in 3 mile 6 novice chases. So he won the last day over 3 mile in a good time. I just think at 6-1, he's likely to go there. On the day, he'll probably be half that.
Yeah, you think he could be 5-2, 3-1?
Yeah, if Jamie's riding him, yeah.
Okay, so Gavin Lynch's latest Ante-Post selection for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival is his almost namesake, Galvin. And my second selection is actually in the RSA chase, and it is Lord Royal. Okay, 33-1 with Bet365. Now, Willie Mullins has a whole host of really potentially top-class stay novice chasers. He's got Monkfish, he's got the Big Getaway, but I just think this is one that's kind of sneaked in under the radar. Okay, he's 33-1. He's a big, giant, imposing individual that apparently is schooled very well. I did Willie's stable tour with him and he was quite excited about him. He's entered in the beginner's chase at Thurles on Thursday. Thurles Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why I want to get him in this week, because I think when people say, oh God, that's the horse that won by 30-something lengths at Clonmel last year, beat Farmix, who's rated in the 120s. So it was a really good performance. Now he was beaten next time at odds on in a graded race at Punchestown, but I just didn't think he gave hurdles the same respect that he's likely to give fences. I think he's a big horse that's going to relish fences. Yes, you've got Monkfish. Yes, you've got the Big Getaway. But I just think Patrick Mullins absolutely adores the Big Getaway, right? He adores him, okay? I just wonder, is he the one that's going to go for the national hunt chase? Could he be the one that Patrick says to Willie, look, Willie, you know, I'd like to win another national hunt chase. We thought we had the right one last year. We're carefully selected. Can I have the Big Getaway? And personally, if Patrick was my son, I'd let him have the Big Getaway. And I would say, sure, we'll win the RSA with Lord Royal. I think Lord Royal is a horse that people have forgotten about because he didn't go to Cheltenham, but I think he's every bit as good as Monkfish. Obviously, I'm not quite sure if he's going to be as good as the Big Getaway, but I think when you see him at Thurles on Thursday, hopefully, fingers crossed, I think that 33-1, if he wins, and I hope he will, could look a very, very big price. Can you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I hope he doesn't run in the national hunt chase against Galvin.
Yeah, that would be very, very interesting. Yeah. But there you go. My next selection for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival is Lord Royal, 33-1 with Bet365. So there you go, folks. That is the second episode in the new series of Upping The Ante, done and dusted. Have you got over Sandbar yet?
Nearly.
We'll take him for coffee after the show to sweeten him up a bit. Enjoy all the racing this weekend. It's a cracking weekend of racing. Obviously, we've got Ascot, we've got Haydock, we've got Navan. There is spectacular racing everywhere. And if you're having a bet, don't forget, gamble responsibly.